Good morning. Welcome back to our studio build. We're gonna finish our coffee here. After painting everything, it just feels so nice to kind of now have its own unique space. Obviously, we still have a lot of work to do, but it's really very quickly starting to come together. The goal today is to get the real paint color on. We're gonna start with the walls because we wanna work our way top down, mainly because we're gonna paint the floor and it's gonna be a dark color, so if we spill anything, mess anything up, it's gonna be covered up and we don't have to worry about anything, which there's so much freedom in that. Yeah, we're gonna finish our coffee and then get started. Went for like an off yellow white that kind of matches our brand colors. It's not gonna look like too much of a difference, but it's a color. I know we said we could be a little messy with the paint, but I still want it to be a little neat. So we're gonna tape it. Short detour, but we're ready to go again. Taping all that's just gonna help trimming the lines and everything just a little bit cleaner. It was another extra step, but glad we did it. Okay, first coat is up. It's looking good so far. We're gonna wait and let it dry, and then we're gonna hit it with a second coat, but I think we're only gonna do it in targeted areas, like mainly our screen printing room here, because these walls will be exposed, whereas in the workspace room, most of them are gonna be covered up. So we're gonna do a second coat starting here, see how far we get, and then we're gonna paint the floors. Painted vertical lines last time, so this coat I'm doing horizontal. Try and get all the random divots and nooks that way. We are going to scrape out every single ounce of paint we can. I wish we had a little bit more, but it is what it is. Part of me is really tempted to get a second gallon, but I really only need maybe like a quart more of paint. So I think we're gonna let this coat dry, see how it looks, but tentatively we're just gonna call it good after this coat. All right, we're done with the roller. We're gonna get everything else we can out of this can, touch up some details. I really think though, I'm gonna want another coat, which means another gallon of paint, and it puts us behind, but I think it's what we have to do, unfortunately, if we want to do this right, which has been the theme of the whole thing. All right, I think we're done for the day. I think we got the most done that we can, literally out of paint. Not as far as I wanted to get today. I thought the paint would have a bit more coverage than it did. That seems to be the theme, so maybe this room, this area just has more square footage than I think. It's still drying, but looking at it right now, I can still already tell I think I'm gonna want a third coat, because when am I gonna be able to move everything again and paint it? So there might be even more painting. We're back with hopefully our last can of paint. Either I'm just really bad at painting or the cinder blocks is just soaking up a lot of paint. I think I'm leaning towards I'm just not a great painter. So we're gonna do one final coat, and this one's gonna be it. And I'm gonna just lay on a ton of paint, a super thick layer of paint, and then hopefully we can paint the floors today. This has been a longer project than I was hoping, but that's how projects go. That coat is dry. I still feel like there's some spots that just aren't taking paint. I don't know why, but we're just gonna call it good as it is. I think overall, that last coat definitely helped. But overall, there's a coat of primer and 3 coats of paint, so I just think some spots just aren't gonna take the paint, which is fine because a lot of it's gonna be covered, and everything in here looks nice and fresh and new, and we can finally get started on the concrete floor paint. But first, we have to satisfyingly take up all the tape. Do you think we can do this all in one strand? Do you think? Ooh, close. Can we do it? Can we do it? Nice. This is definitely, this tape is taking up some paint, including the red paint, and another layer. So this paint's taken up 2 layers of paint, which makes me a little concerned about the durability of the paint we're about to put down. But it is what it is, we're gonna see. All right, tape is off. Now to put tape back on the walls. Well, green on the tape. So we're just gonna freehand cut everything in with our floor concrete paint and hope it's semi-good. The tape wasn't sticking anyway, so it is what it is. We went with kind of like a off gray, a little warm toned, again to match our brain colors, and I'm very excited to actually start cutting in with actual paint color that's gonna look different. So this is kind of the dark, kind of concrete gray, maybe a little darker, a little warm tone that we're going with, and I'm actually very excited. Oh yeah, that's gonna look so good. I don't think you guys can see that. Look at that. You can see the start of an actual concrete floor. We're good. It's fine, it's gonna be covered up with plywood anyways. The floor is cut in. I've realized I'm terrible at cutting paint, and I just have to live with that fact. What I ended up doing is painting a little bit of a lip onto the wall with the gray, which I actually think turned out halfway decent, but there's probably some spots we need to clean up. It's not gonna be the crispest line, but the benefit is most of these walls are gonna be covered, so it's gonna be okay. We're gonna wait for this to dry, and then start rolling and hope it only needs 1 coat, AKA only 1 gallon of paint. And finally, we roll. I already know it's gonna be so satisfying. Oh, yes. Look at that. I can already tell how much better it's gonna look in here with the painted floors. This looks incredible. I can't believe how much a simple color change and coat of paint completely transformed this area. We didn't quite use the gallon, so I think we'll let this coat dry, finish it up. We won't have enough for a full second coat, but I don't think we'll need it the way it's looking. We'll just be able to go in and touch up a few spots, clean up the edges, and then do one final cleanup with white wall paint. to get rid of the splashes, anything like that. But like, it's feeling like a real space now, and I'm blown away by the transformation of the space. Even though it took a lot of time, a lot of steps, a lot of effort, like I could not be happier with how it's starting to turn out. And once everything's built out, decorated, vibed out, this space is going to be amazing.